Hello and welcome back to Rebooking to Mastery, a podcast presented by me, Jug. Just a master student trying to spread some knowledge out to the rest of the world. If you remember from my last episode, we were discussing the first part of negativity, which is where the evil king goes hungry. From the book Think Like a Monk, a book by Jay Shetty, a former monk. So, in our last episode, we discussed three sources of negativity. When bad things are going to happen, fear of rather, not being loved, and the fear of disrespect. And so right now, we're going to go more into the overall ideology of what negativity does to us as individuals. So, let's first take a look at the idea of negativity as a concept. So as individuals, we are wired to conform. We are wired to follow through with the people around us. We are wired to emulate their actions, emulate their behaviors, emulate their words. And we do this subconsciously, where we kind of pick up on people's phrases, pick up on their actions, and follow through with that. If you ever felt yourself pulling away from who you really are, especially when you spend time with a negative person, one who criticizes everything, one who but rather gossips about everyone, spreads rumors, and generally talks about how negative their life is, feeling like a victim all the time, you will find yourself falling into the same behaviors, whether you know it, like it, or not. Because we are wired to conform. And if you think about it, the more negativity you get placed on yourself, the more we become negative. It's like, imagine you find yourself in the same scenario or the same place over and over again. Will you not get used to coming to this place? Say you go to work and you figure out that it takes you exactly 39 minutes to go to work, and it takes you exactly 5 minutes for you to get all the way up there. That means you get used to waking up at a certain time. It means you get used to getting ready by a certain time. And it means you generally get used to getting in your car by a certain time to ensure that you keep to this time and you get into your office before it gets too late. The same way you get used to a kind of routine, if people are around you and you get used to their negativity, you won't see it as anything unique. You won't see it as anything new. You won't see it as anything harmful. And when you don't see that, you subconsciously pick up on their negativity they place upon you, and you become more negative. You start complaining. You start having grievances about everything. Things you didn't even think about before give you grievances, and you find yourself becoming kind of a victim to the world around you, regardless of the truthfulness or not of it. One concept of Stoicism is that you don't get mad at the events that happen. You get mad because of your reaction to said events that happen. And that's the same way it works with negativity. It's not that an event in of itself causes negativity. It's your reaction to said events that cause the negativity. And so, to reverse this negativity, you need to start from the root of itself. The root of the negative experience. The root of the negative thoughts. And the way you do that is by becoming an objective observer. Similar to the Obstacle is the Way episodes, this comes with looking at the world through an objective lens. Looking at the world how it is, not how our preconceptions or biases cause them to look like. And so one way to do this is to force yourself to step away from the situation. Look at the world from the lens of a war, not a battle, as discussed in previous episodes about strategies of war, and find yourself backing away slowly and looking at it as a third person would, someone who is not inherently in the thick of things, of negativity. And when you do that, you will notice yourself, you will catch yourself maybe even, or at least you'll become aware of the fact that you are spouting more negative statements. More thoughts that are based in negativity are swirling in your head. And as you back away slowly, and provide a more objective lens to the world around you, you will slowly reverse the negativity that is swirling around you at the same time. And so one way to do this also, apart from dealing it with your own thoughts, is to balance the amount of people or the kinds of people you have in your life. One way to do this is to, for every single negative person you have to have in your life without an ability to get rid of them or an ability to kind of drift apart from them or let go of them, have at least three positive ones. Ensure that the ratio of negative to positive people is balanced so that you do not fall into the trap that I mentioned before of spouting your own negativity and thinking more negative than positive. And so another way to do this is by allocating set times. So you should have people, you can probably think of this, but there are certain people you can only spend an hour a week or so with. There are people you can spend hours upon hours in a day with. And there are people you can only see once a month. So kind of, in your own mind, create a mental framework of setting up times for people and seeing when the best time for them to show up in your life are, and ensure that your positivity people are far more prevalent than those of negativity. And don't think of yourself as a savior. You're not here to, you may want to help someone, but some people are so far gone down this hole of negativity that it's incredibly difficult to save them, and you'll find yourself sucked into the void at the same time. So yes, make an effort to provide an alternative view, but do not invest too much of yourself in a negative person, for you will find yourself slipping down the same slope. And that's about how we conform to negativity. Thank you so much for listening, and tune in for the next part of negativity from the book Think Like a Monk. And if you'd like to hear more content, drop me a follow at Rebooking to Mastery on TikTok and Instagram, or subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Thank you so much, and see you guys next time.